Check, check, check. Test. Okay, looks good. Welcome one and all to Scotch and Smoke Rings. Good to have you all on the program today. The way this show works is for the first hour, we have a bit of a Q&A, then we dive into the video game. So, if you're just here to watch the continuation of Out of Sight, and you're not watching live, then go ahead and skip ahead about an hour. That's when the gameplay starts. Otherwise, feel free to join in the Q&A or watch the replay. I'm here to answer your questions. Now, I know that many of you are going to have questions about Season 2 of the Fallout show, so that's probably going to be the primary conversational topic of the day. So if you haven't seen the Fallout show yet, and you don't want spoilers, maybe skip ahead an hour or come back at another time, because that's probably what we're going to talk about. Now, I am sick. I'm feeling better, which is why I'm on camera right now. But if you were to have seen me yesterday, I wouldn't even have been able to speak. I don't know what's going on. I keep reading reports about a super flu going on in the Pacific Northwest. This is the second time this winter that I've caught a really bad cough, even though I got the most recent COVID booster and the most recent flu booster. Yet I don't have a temperature. I haven't been vomiting. I haven't been getting cold sweats. It's just a cough, just an awful, awful cough. But it's wrecked my voice, which is why I didn't release a video today, and I'm working on a video for the weekend. But I'm waiting for my voice to get back to normal so I can actually sit down and record audio. That's the thing about being a YouTuber and getting sick. It sucks because it means that I'm having a hard time getting my work done. So, but I figure, my voice is good enough now that I can do a show, so that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully it'll be even better by tomorrow so I can finally record some audio for the video that I'm trying to get done. So no, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm trying to get over this sickness. So if I cough a bit during the show, please forgive me. If I have to blow my nose a bit, again, my apologies. That's what I'm struggling with right now. But it's good to see everybody. We've got Michael Eastridge, Roman Granados, Cornelius Noble on Facebook. Good to see all of you. We've got Ms. Denvercho and Soldrune on Twitch today. See, there it is. Sorry. Cornelius Noble on Facebook says, about 3 to 4 weeks ago, we rescued a 3-day-old puppy who we didn't think would make it through the night. Glad to say he's doing great and more than doubled in size already. That's an awesome little story. Thank you, Cornelius, for sharing, and I'm so glad to hear it. And it's good to see everybody on YouTube today. East Side Shogun, Wyoming Homesteader, Snack Dealer, Beef Potion, Craig Euler, Brother Mike, Changed One, Hilamaz, Paul Kopax, and it's Alan Hama with the first super chat of the day, who says, Morning Ox, what lore content are you going to do next besides the show, considering you've covered all of the Fallout games? Well, I'm not done talking about Season 2, and that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now. So my primary focus is going to be finishing my thoughts on Season 2. And I've got a list of videos that I want to get done. It's probably going to take me through the spring. But after that, I'll start going back to my regular content. And it's going to be along the lines of what I did towards the middle and end of last year. Focused topical videos about specific topics within the Fallout universe, like my video on when FEV worked, or my full story of the Enclave video, or focuses on certain vaults in the Vault Tech or in the Fallout universe that I haven't covered yet, so on and so forth. Those kind of things. Hilamaz says, what would the Enclave think of the Soul Survivor, seeing he's pre-war and has no radiation? Well, I think the Enclave would treat the Soul Survivor the way they treat all other Vault Dwellers. Because remember, the residents of Vault 13 were also pre-war and had not been exposed to radiation or FEV in the atmosphere. And what did they do to the residents of Vault 13? They opened the door using the all-clear signal and then massacred half the vault and then kidnapped the rest. They certainly wouldn't think of the sole survivor as an ally, right? If you weren't part of the Enclave, you were dead to them, and they would kill you if you weren't dead already. Even if you were part of the Enclave and you didn't agree with leadership, they would kill you. So, yeah, it's a pretty easy question to answer. I think the Enclave would surely just kill the sole survivor if they had the opportunity. Mobius Ouroboros says, hello, Mr. Oxhorn, sir. Which Fallout storyline would you say is the deepest and most authentic story? Also, which story does the best job giving the audience a strong message, in your opinion? So, interesting question. And it's difficult to understand exactly what you're trying to get out of that question, because authentic, in what way? Like, which storyteller is being authentic? Which faction is being authentic? I think that, there are numerous storytellers who worked at telling the stories of each of the games. And we have to remember that it's not just the primary plot. Each game has subplots and vault plots and side quest plots, all of which, don't necessarily have anything to do with the primary plot and yet are part of the canonical Fallout universe. So to answer that question is sort of like, how does it make you feel, right? Like, well, it just depends on your personal preference. I think that each of the game is authentic in its own way, as I've said on many occasions, and it does the Fallout universe justice in different ways. And I think the way that I like to put it is that Fallout 3 does a really good job of environmental storytelling. It does a really good job of giving you the vibe of a post-apocalyptic wasteland, of immersing you in the horror of that world. Fallout New Vegas does an excellent job of making you feel the deepness of the history of the Fallout universe. As well as it does an excellent job with characters. I think Fallout 4 does a great job with certain characters and excelled at gunplay compared to many of the other games. So they're all authentic in their own way and in different ways. And I wouldn't necessarily rank one better than the next. In terms of message, none of the games have any one message that they're trying to deliver. Each of the games is delivering a variety of different messages depending on the quest that you're doing and the writer of that quest. And I think the prevailing theme that weaves throughout all of the games is that war never changes, right? And it's ultimately an anti-war game franchise. It is political. It started political with the very first game. It mocked the idea of mutually assured destruction. It mocks crony capitalism. And it mocks the concept of America above all else, right? The sort of loving America with blinders on to the rest of the world. And they did that was clear with the introductory cutscene to Fallout 1 with the American troops gunning down Canadians in the streets of Canada, and then talking about the annexation of Canada. There are so many different political things that the Fallout franchise is trying to say. And, some of the games are a little more heavy-handed with that than the others. Fallout 2 was really heavy-handed with some of the political satire that they included, particularly when you explore the Enclave oil rig and you meet Vice President Byrd. Which was a Quayle reference, like the Vice President Byrd was just Dan Quayle. He even went on spelling potato incorrectly, right? The entire thing was just making fun of Republicans and Dan Quayle. Then you've got the little Nixon doll from, was it Tactics? I forget. Or was it Fallout 2? I don't even remember. But yeah, I think ultimately it's got an anti-war message, and it's trying to demonstrate just the uselessness of war. Ken Robertson says, do you think Hank is really mind wiped? He used his own device, and he does not appear after Lucy sees Max. I think he was faking, but we'll see. I mean, it's possible. I've been thinking about that, and I feel like it would be a cop-out. I don't think that... It's totally something they would do, like they could do. And if they do it, it would disappoint me. Because they're essentially just robbing this emotionally charged scene at the end of the season of all of its drama, of all of its energy, of all of its passion, if they were to do something like that. Whoops! Just kidding. Hank didn't really wipe his own mind. It was all just a ploy. Gotcha. At least with the ending to season 1, sure, we end up learning in season 2 that it wasn't really Vault-Tec who dropped the bombs, but in season 1, in the last episode, they gave us hints that that wasn't the case, which is why so many of us had the theory even before season 2 came out that, you know, they never actually said that Vault-Tec dropped the bombs. They said that Vault-Tec was thinking about it. They posited the idea, and they panned to a shadowy figure in a room who could have been an Enclave member. Like, there were lots of hints in season 1 that we could have deduced. But if it just turns out that Hank was acting, I would personally feel robbed by the storytelling of season 2, and it wouldn't make sense narratively at all, because not only are we going to have to believe that that Hank McClane was a good father, but an evil man who did horrible things because he was secretly an acolyte to the Enclave. But on top of all of that, he's also a really good actor as well, to rival Cooper Howard, because he could act that he wiped his mind and he fooled his own daughter. Like, that's what we would have to believe for it to be fake. And they could end up doing that. And I think it would be a cop-out, and I hope they don't do that. And yet, on the other hand, I really hate to see Hank go, because he's such a great character. I mean, he's evil, and I hate him, but he is so great. He's just a great character, and for him to be done now that his mind is wiped would be a shame as well. So, these are thoughts that I'm going to be elaborating on in upcoming videos. But yeah, I was, kind of bummed to see him go out that way. And yet, if he's not gone, like if they're faking, I'm going to be pissed off. Greg Hinojo says, I asked my wife what time the gym closes, and she says 10 p.m. on a weeknight. I said, okay. Well, what about on a strong night? Nicely done, Greg. That's the first dad joke of the night. Thank you very much. Cheers to you, my friend. May Cabra says it was Fallout 2, the Vault City outskirts. The Nixon doll. Yeah, the Nixon doll. Solarmander says, what does your cigar stand look like? Oh, it's not really a stand. It's just a huge ashtray bowl. Like, I don't want to have to be constantly emptying it. So I've got this giant chalice with little rests upon which I rest my cigar. And, after a week, it's full. And then I dump it once a week instead of having to dump it every day because it's a tiny little ashtray. But yeah, that's my stand. Mobius Ouroboros says, I saw on a podcast a developer said China dropped the bombs because of the USA experimenting on Chinese citizens. Remember Little Yangtze in Big Mountain. Little Yangtze and Big Mountain were Chinese American citizens, which is also horrible, if not more horrible. But China was dropping biological warfare on Americans, right? The entire reason that FEV exists is because America was trying to come out with the pan-immunity virion project as a way to combat the biological warfare that China was doing. And if you're using biological weapons on an entire population, civilian population, what do? You're experimenting on them. But of course, America probably was experimenting on the Chinese. America was experimenting on America, like the vaults were America's experiments on America. So that's totally plausible. But I don't think that that's sufficient evidence for China to drop the bombs. I do ultimately think, and have thought for many years, that China did drop the bombs. I've never bought the Vault Tech argument. And I talked about this years ago, even when I published my 2016 video on who dropped the bombs. It ultimately all comes back to China. I do think that the Enclave has a valid reason for doing so, but are they the ones who ultimately did it? I don't think so. I think ultimately it was either an accident. And if it turns out to be an accident, it'll be hilarious, right? Like if a monkey in a control room slips on a banana peel and just whoops, elbows into the red button and that starts it, I mean, I'll just laugh, right? It could be just a random accident and the entire mutually assured destruction thing that both America and communist China put together, the deck of cards they erected all falls in this just giant catastrophe. That would be hilarious, and I'd love that. It could be the Enclave. They certainly had a motive for doing so, but China definitely had a motive for doing so. They were losing the war. They were losing. They had just been pushed out of Anchorage. They lost access to America's fossil fuel reserves in Anchorage, Alaska. So they were running out of tricks. They couldn't make power armor. Their Yaoguai suits, or not Yaoguai, but their Chinese stealth armor was an impressive technology, but it had been reverse engineered by America into the Stealth Boys. It wasn't decisive on the battlefield. They brought tanks to Anchorage, like hover tanks or something, and those weren't decisive on the battlefield. They were losing the war, and America was now in China. They were in the Gobi Desert, right? They were in China now. So I think that they really had a very strong motive for starting the nuclear apocalypse. And I don't think that they needed a further reason, like United States experimenting on Chinese citizens, to do so. I think they had plenty of reasons to try and start a nuclear war. Greg Hinojo says, why aren't there more mom jokes? Because she already told them once, and she's not repeating herself. Is that like she told a joke when she gave birth to the child? Are you saying that you as the child are the joke of your mother? Ouch. That's rough, Greg. Block J Sama says, hey, Ox, longtime fan. I heard the Fallout show was greenlit for 6 seasons. Having visited half 1 and 2 in Vegas, do you have any theories of other game settings, sites we may visit through the series? Yeah, I talked a little bit about this at the end of my last video. I talked a little bit about this in my last live stream as well. But I definitely think that in Season 3, and I saw a news report today that talked about that they're already going to start working on Season 3 in May, because they really want to get it out. But in Season 3, they're going to spend some time in Vegas because the NCR has to fight the Legion, and they're going to move into Colorado because that's what the ghoul is going. That's where he's going to look for his wife and child. I think that they're going to continue to go through the Midwest, and during that time, they're going to visit many of the sites that were briefly touched upon during the events of Fallout Tactics. So I think there are going to be at least one season, maybe 1 or 2 seasons where we're going to get a lot of really new stuff that was only mentioned in Fallout Tactics and Fallout New Vegas, because only Tactics and New Vegas really mention, Colorado and east of the Rockies into the Midwest a little bit. Going into Chicago. I think ultimately we will eventually get to the Capital Wasteland and to Boston, but I don't think it's going to be for a couple more seasons. Alan Hama Q says, hey, Ox, for the Hoover Dam, you said you don't think it's that important anymore with the existence of cold fusion, but the cold fusion can't power everywhere when Mr. House controls it. I mean, yeah, it depends on who controls it, right? If the NCR controls it, then the NCR is going to give power to everyone. If House controls it and keeps it for himself, he's only going to power Vegas. And if that turns out to be the case, then yes, Vegas will become more important. So yeah, you raise a great point. Anarchist69 says, I want to see in season 3 of the Fallout show Maximus as an outcast and Thaddeus as his loyal centaur pet. That would be fun, Lamau. I prefer the dynamic between Maximus and Thaddeus of equal friendship. I prefer a dynamic where they each find something within each other to respect. Thaddeus saves Maximus's bacon in the fight in Freeside, right? With a well-placed sniper shot. And he would have done more if he could, if he wasn't suffering from a medical emergency. And Maximus was clearly grateful for that. He didn't treat Thaddeus as a pet. He treated him as a friend and as an equal. And I prefer that dynamic to one where Thaddeus is just a jester, a court jester, a sidekick, a little pet. But who knows? Who knows where that's going to go? Ryan Nicholas Martinez says, hey, ever tried super tips? Better than giving YouTube 30%. Try it out. Can put voice, hey. Even Mr. House can deliver a message. Okay. So super tips are available on YouTube. And people can give super tips anytime they want to. Or they can do super chats as well. Like, you can do what you want, right? Or you could go to Patreon, and I've got my Patreon open as well, so people can contribute to me any way they want. Ocelot79 says, did you know from 1992 to 1993, Kyle MacLachlan starred in some ads for the Subaru Impreza? I did not know that, no. That's an interesting factoid. I had no idea. Bruce Wang says, do you think we will see any saved souls from New Vegas that migrated to Colorado, such as Carlito and his sweetheart from Gomorrah? That's very specific. That's a very specific side quest. He's talking about a side quest in Gomorrah where you have to save a prostitute who's working as a stripper and a prostitute in Gomorrah. Because Carlito is in love with her, and you talk between them, and you arrange a way for her to get out without being murdered by the Omertas. But did they go to Colorado? We don't know. I mean, there are so many little side characters in Fallout New Vegas that could have gone to Colorado, could have gone south into Mexico, could have gone anywhere that they could elaborate on. But I think it's more likely that they'll probably just add someone new. As they did in season 2 of the show, there were so many people that, really should have shown up. Like the Garrett twins and the Atomic Wrangler. But they didn't put the Garrett twins there. Instead, they gave the Atomic Wrangler a completely new bartender, right? They had an NCR sniper on top of the Silver Rush, but we didn't see anyone inside the Silver Rush. Inside the weapon shop that was inside the Silver Rush at all. Like, there are so many characters that could have easily had a bit of a cameo that just didn't show up. So the likelihood of someone that obscure showing up in season 2, I think, is pretty slim. Ned Carlsberg says, it's odd how Coop didn't mention Ohio when he talked about finding management vaults in Oregon and California. Maybe he didn't find the vault during 76? Well, he clearly found Vault 76 because during the events of Vault 76, we meet him outside of Vault 76. But Vault 76 wasn't a vault for managers. And to my knowledge, there isn't a vault for managers in Appalachia. So he wouldn't have mentioned it because it wasn't there, right? So I'm that actually is congruent with what he said. Mobius Ouroboros says, Preston Garvey, in the voice of Preston Garvey, General, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is another settlement needs your help. And the bad news It's literally every settlement. Here, I made a spreadsheet. Thank you, Mobius Roberos, for that. Sounds like something he would certainly do. Cornelius Noble on Facebook says, do you think we'll see any of the game voice actors make cameos? That would be cool. Well, I mean, yeah, we've already got Ron Perlman coming back for a cameo, which they'll elaborate on in Season 3. Anyone else? Who knows? I'd love to see Danny Trejo. Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly something they could do, and that they have done, and that they might do in the future. Greg Hinojo says, did you hear about the dictator who walked into a bar? He ordered everyone around. Oh, cheers. Bluck J. Sama says, am I crazy for thinking the mutant that saved the ghoul is Marcus? Not crazy, just, we don't have any evidence that it is Marcus. He doesn't look like Marcus. He's not dressed like Marcus. He didn't have Marcus's voice. He didn't act like Marcus. Like, he's a super mutant. He's green like Marcus. But really, there was nothing else about him that screamed, I am Marcus. He was also unnamed, so could he be Marcus? Maybe, but he could also be literally any other super mutant. So we just have to wait and find out on that one. Greg Hinojo says, Ulysses voice actor live script reading of Fallout New Vegas. Are you asking me if I would like to see that? Sure. That would be a lot of fun. Cheng Yang says, hey Ox, I was shocked you and your brother didn't. Warlock Gul'dan himself is a warlock who can summon demons and fell magic. I thought you Hearthstone. There's just a lot of Blizzard game stuff in there. What? It's been so long since I've played World of Warcraft. It's been so long since I've played Hearthstone. Like, I recognize some of the terms in there. I just don't understand the context. I don't get what you're trying to say. Matter of Splat on Twitch says, I know Fallout is the big topic you get, and that's how I found you. But I finally started Starfield and just started watching your playthroughs of Starfield. Great work. Thank you very much, Matter of Splat. I had a really great time playing Starfield. Was really looking forward to it, dedicated a lot of time to it, made several lore videos about it. I really wanted it to work, but it just didn't work on this channel. But I had a good time with it. Enjoyed it. Robert Cicerma says, any chance of a Colorado Fallout lore recap vid? Well, there's just not a lot. There's not a lot to recap. Even in Fallout Tactics, we don't spend a lot of time in Colorado. There are like 2 missions where we're in Colorado, and one entire mission is inside the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, in which we find Vault Zero. So the only lore that would be there is the lore of Vault Zero. I mean, I could talk about the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, which is a real complex in Colorado, but that would really be it. Like, there's not a lot to say. There's not a lot of Fallout lore that's canonical about Colorado. I could look it up and see if there's something that I've missed. That would be really interesting if there was. Cheng Yang says, Mr. Word, my man, I rush. Hey Ox, I was shocked you and your brother didn't warlock. Gul'dan himself is a warlock who can summon demons and fell magic. I thought you Hearthstone. Okay, so the problem with following that up with another super chat that says, Mr. Word, my man, is that you're not saying whether I missed a word or whether you missed a word, first of all. Secondly, you're not telling me where that word is that you missed, nor are you telling me what the word is or where it should go. So there's just like, if you want to conserve your money and like condense it all into one super chat, just like put it all together into one and elaborate more. Just be more descriptive. Elaborate more so that I can interpret what you're trying to say. Because at the moment, I don't know what you mean by I rush. Like I could take that phrase and try and fit it into your previous sentence. Hey, Ox, I rush was shocked. I was rush shocked. I was shocked you and your brother didn't rush Warlock. Like what? Like where do I put that? I don't know. But thank you. Thank you anyway. Thank you. Ned Carlsberg says, which Fallout game is more underrated, 76 or Tactics? I would say Tactics. I think 76 is underrated for a lot of really valid reasons. I definitely think it's better than some people thought it was when it was first released. But you know what? It's turned into a very unique thing that some people like and some people don't. And so at the moment, it kind of is what it is. And you either like it or you don't, or you're in the middle. And with Fallout Tactics, a lot of the criticism about Fallout Tactics was how it deviated from the lore of the games and how the gameplay itself was squad-based instead of single-player role-playing like we had come to expect from Fallouts 1 and 2. Now, that particular bit of criticism I don't think is very valid because I think you can make a good Fallout game that has a different type of gameplay. However, the lore criticism was certainly valid, and yet after playing it, I walked away with a better experience than I was expecting. And so I'm going to say that I think Tactics was more underrated than it should have been. Greg Hinojo says, who would you rather be stuck in a hotel elevator with, Arthur Morgan or Robert House? It depends on the mood. Like if I just want to get to the top floor of the hotel or whatever, Arthur Morgan, because he's not going to be that chatty. He'll just sit there and, as long as he doesn't have consumption, I don't want to catch that. But he'll probably not be talkative. Robert House, he'll probably want to talk at me because he likes to talk. He's full of himself. He's absolutely full of himself and how smart he is and how he's achieved so much. And I don't think he could stand in an elevator with somebody, even if it's a complete stranger, without talking. He might not give away who he is, but he'll definitely talk. Nick Valentine says, I'm just waiting for the mysterious stranger to pop by. Wouldn't that be great? I think that the viewers who weren't gamers would probably be confused as hell. They would just be like, what just happened? Why did that dude in a fedora just pop out of nowhere and shoot the enemy and then zap away? What happened? But I think the rest of us would be like, mysterious stranger, right? It'd be great. Alt Grendel gifted 5 Oxhorn memberships to the community. Thank you so much, Alt Grendel. And congratulations to Vaultec Management, Mila1439, Lord Jukas. Do I say Jukas or Guckus? Because it's with the G. But it's George. So Lord Jukas, I guess. Okay. Kruger Hollow and Joshua Corbett. Thanks again, Alt Grendel. Cornelius Noble on Facebook says, I just learned Jesse Birch, who voiced a lot of New Vegas characters like Lieutenant Hayes, voiced Victor in the show. Did he really? I didn't know that. That's amazing. Thank you, Cornelius Noble. Wyatt Clark says, which Fallout character would you like to see the ghoul have a conversation with the most? Timeline and setting aside, mine is Joshua Graham. Of course, that would be a fascinating conversation. I don't think the ghoul would have the patience to sit and listen to Joshua Graham. I also don't think he would respect a thing that Joshua Graham says. I think it would be really interesting to see him have a conversation with Ulysses as well. And I can't predict how that confrontation would go. Would they get along or would they open fire on each other? I don't even know, but that would be fascinating. Alan Hama says, "Hey Ox, do you think there's any chance that we'll see either Roger Maxson or Nate from pre-war as part of like Coop's military history?" Nate, no, I don't think there's any chance we'll see Nate. I think that the showrunners have been very explicit about the fact that they're going to do their best not to canonize certain things about the ending, and they're certainly not going to put a face to one of the primary player characters. They're never going to put a face to the courier. They'll never put a face to the sole survivor. So no, we're not going to see Nate. Will we see Roger Maxson? Probably not Roger Maxson. Maybe Arthur Maxson, because Arthur Maxson is referenced in season 2. And yeah, I think that ultimately we're going to find a confrontation between Quintus and Arthur Maxson. So, yeah, I think we're probably going to see Arthur. Hoosier says, "How soon is Fallout 5? And how will it tie into the show? Also, if you could pick a location for Fallout 5 to take place, where would it be?" I have no idea, and if I were a betting man, I would say that it's not going to happen until after the show ends, which sucks. And I don't want to have to say that, and I hope I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong, but it's already been 10 years. And they haven't even released The Elder Scrolls 6. I don't think we're going to be seeing Fallout 5 for another 5 years at least. I think that's probably what's going to happen. In terms of where it'll be, I mean, it's anyone's guess at this point. But I'm guessing that Bethesda will probably keep it on the East Coast and continue moving north. Perhaps we'll go to New York. Josh Bunton says, "So when are we getting a playthrough of the most Medal of Fallout game in Brotherhood of Steel?" Probably never. I mean, I've seen enough of Fallout Brotherhood of Steel to realize that it's just a shallow sort of game with, like, they just didn't care. And I've even read interviews with some of the developers of Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and they knew that they didn't care, and they wanted to tell their own story. I have read interviews from some of the developers, and like, yeah, you know, we played Fallout 2 in particular, and we loved it, and it was great, and we thought about like making our Fallout happen after Fallout 2, like to carry that on, but we just really wanted to tell our own story and do our own thing, and you know, the two can live side by side, and they wanted to make their own game, but they wanted it to sell. And so they put Fallout in the title and name dropped a few characters like Harold from the previous games and called it a day. Like they put very little effort into any continuity between any of the games. So I'm just not motivated to cover it. Especially since Bethesda has come out already and said that it's not canonical. It's just not part of the greater Fallout canon. Vince M says, "Evening Ox, what was your favorite scene from Season 2? Mine was Lucy all high on Buffout and the ghoul comments to it. Cheers." That was a wonderful scene. It's hard to know. I mean, I loved the whole Big Iron montage in the first episode with the ghoul just devastating the cons at Novak. That was lovely. I really enjoyed the ultimate showdown between Maximus and the Deathclaws in the last episode. That was amazing. I loved the callback in the last episode to the intro cinematic of Fallout New Vegas, which was great as well. I mean, there are so many great action sequences in Season 2 that it's hard to pick just one. Gabriel Martin says, "Ox, smoke ship from my brother Cody getting married." Okay. I'll do an episode, so I'll do a smoke ship, and since you're not giving me a ship, I'll interpret what I think is going to be good. So we'll have You remember that episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation, where there was a wedding on a ship out at sea and everyone was in like fancy dress as buccaneers? That's what we're gonna have, a wedding on a big wooden ship out at sea. And even Captain Picard will be there as well. All right, we're ready? This is for Gabriel's brother Cody getting married. Now, as with the nature of smoke, smoke doesn't last very long. It is literally breath on the wind. So if you don't want to miss this piece of art, and I do not use that phrase lightly, that I am about to weave into existence, you're going to want to get your screenshot button pressing finger ready so that you can savor this moment forever. Okay? And don't blink. Just prop them open like that, right? Otherwise, you might miss it, and you really would regret it forever. Like on your deathbed, you will sit there and go, I can't believe I blinked. So just don't blink. You don't want to live with that. No? Okay. Here we go. Wow! Did you see it? I hope you took that screenshot, because for the briefest of moments before your very eyes was a beautiful wooden ship out at sea, the deck was covered with, party balloons and streamers, and there was a wedding being officiated right on the deck, and it was a beautiful sunny day. That's right, I even caught the sun. I painted light in smoke. How? Don't ask me how. I can't tell you how. It's just one of the things I can do. And a magician never reveals his tricks. You're welcome. You're welcome. And congratulations to you, Cody. Congratulations. Alan Hama says, I'm talking about a pair, not post-war. A peer, not a pair. Oh my God. It's like I have to sit here and interpret. I just stare. I just stare. Listen, I've got fat fingers too. I make typos all the time. I really do. But when I spend money on things, I kind of double read things before I press enter. A peer, right? You're wondering whether Nate would appear in the show in a pre-war scene, not a post-war scene. You're not asking me about a pair. Whew, got there. But my argument is the same. I mean, even it doesn't matter if he was in a pre-war scene or a post-war scene. You're still putting a face to Nate. And Nate isn't even his name, right? The point of creating a character in Fallout 4 is you create the face of your character. You create the name of your character. You choose the gender of your character, and it might not be Nate. So no, they're never going to show the sole survivor in the show, in a post-war or pre-war scene. And there definitely won't be pairs. There are mute fruit, not pairs, in the Fallout universe. Greg Hinojos says, maybe our grandkids will be able to play Fallout 5. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that my grandkids will someday, after hearing about the legend of Fallout 5, that their old grandpappy talked about long before he passed, that someday, before they too die, they will see the promised land known as Fallout 5. Alan Hama says, I hate autocorrect. I meant pre-war for Nate and Roger, not post-war. That won't affect the canonicity of the lore. So for Roger Maxson, you're right. Will we see him? Probably not. They mentioned him already. I mean, maybe we will. I mean, actually, that's really interesting because maybe we'll see Roger Maxson, but he's not really important within the story of the United States or the story of the bombs dropping or anything, because he's at the Mariposa military base. It would take a really weird, unique quirk of the storyline for Cooper Howard to stumble upon Roger Maxson. But we definitely won't see Nate for all of the reasons that I just elaborated on. Robert Cesarma gifted 5 memberships to the Oxhorn community. Thank you, Robert, and congratulations to Off-White Bob Billy, Chino Chi, Charcoal, and Colton Brandt. Thanks again, Robert Cesarma. Midnight Snack says, isn't Rex from Colorado? Maybe we will see more Robo-Dogs from that Enclave station and more Legion for sure. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Robo-Dogs yet. That'd be pretty cool. Well, we might see more Legion, though that's actually a lore point that I'm kind of confused on, because according to the lore of Fallout New Vegas, there was a greater empire to the east. It was Caesar's military that moved west towards Hoover Dam. But behind them, they left, a little bit of their tribal civilization, whatever civilization they had. They weren't an entirely nomadic civilization. So there was a Legion presence in the east that they left behind. In fact, it was to that civilization that they called when they needed reinforcements for the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. But the show gives us the impression that after failing to get the Hoover Dam during the events of Fallout New Vegas, that Caesar dies and that the Legion just fractures into 2 camps where they sit in a valley overlooked by hills for like 18 years, just casually throwing grenades at each other from time to time. And at no point did anyone else from their greater Eastern Empire talk to them. Like, just nothing. Which kind of defies reason that would happen. It's kind of like never hearing from the NCR civilization during that time. All that exists of the NCR is one small squad of troops that just got lost for 18 years and suddenly shows up in Freeside. But the president and the Senate and civilians that presumably are somewhere else in the world just don't talk to anyone. There are a couple little things like that they kind of need to elaborate on and button up a bit. Greg Hinojo says, I sneezed and my keyboard stopped working. No! Is that why it's all in caps? I believe it. Josh Bunton says, Ox, will you be streaming Resident Evil Requiem? Maybe. It sounds like something I would stream. I've streamed the other Resident Evils and really enjoyed them. Yeah, so we got a couple weeks. It looks like something I would love to stream. Wyatt Clark says, do you think the Ghoul and Lucy will be separated the entirety of Season 3? What could draw Lucy to Colorado? That's a great question. And it's hard to predict. Because the only reason they traveled together is not, they weren't bosom buddies. They traveled together out of convenience because they both had the same goal. They were hunting Hank. That's no longer the Ghoul's goal. It's also no longer Lucy's goal. Lucy is now trying to find purpose for her life, reason for existing, a cause to fight for. I think the Ghoul and Lucy are probably going to go their separate ways. Now, I do think that they're probably going to have to reunite at some point in the narrative. Will it be in Season 3? I don't know. I mean, we spent all of Season 3 without Norm ever leaving California. His story took place in California. Lucy's story took place in Nevada. They never left those states, right? So it's totally possible that season 3 could be Coop in Colorado and Lucy and Maximus reestablishing the NCR in Nevada. I mean, it could go on to season 4. Who knows? Maybe they stay on the West Coast and start rebuilding the NCR for the rest of the series. And it's Cooper who keeps going east and touching all of the places visited by the show. Who knows? I do think they will have to have a reunion at some point, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. God. Okay, we got about 9 minutes and then we're going to dive into the game. And now, we're going to be continuing with Out of Sight. Mainly because I did enjoy the story last week, but primarily because I'm still feeling ill and I don't have enough energy to kind of do a full 4-hour live stream today. So since we're almost done with that game anyway, we're going to finish that game and then I'm going to end the broadcast because my voice is really rough. The Easy Life says, good evening, Ox and all in chat. I remember seeing the fan film Nuka Break and using the Nuka Breaker melee weapon from New Vegas. There's a part of me that wishes to see a nod to that in the show. Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful to see a nod to something that showed up in the actual game that itself was a reference to a fan contribution? That would just be delightful. That would be wonderful to see. Oh, I had to mute while blowing my nose because nobody deserves to hear that. Samurai Ravan says, Ox, do you think we'll see a single synth at some point in the next season? Next season? No. As we get closer to Boston, maybe, probably even. But next season, they've really set the stage for Hank's slaves. They're the synths of the Fallout show. They're not really synths. They're real people, but they're real people that have been mind-controlled to follow the Enclave's orders. And they integrate into society, and you don't know who they are. You can't tell them apart. They've set the stage for that, and I have a feeling that we're going to get some new characters in Season 3, and some of them are going to secretly be some of Hank's mind-controlled slaves, and those are going to be the synths of the Fallout show. Royce Miller says, do you feel overwhelmed by Season 2? Too many factions. I don't feel overwhelmed by Season 2 because I'm familiar enough with the universe to kind of get a grasp on all of the different factions. However, I do agree that they tried to do too much in Season 2, which led to disappointing storylines for some of the characters and factions that deserved better storylines, including Norm and his entire story, which I feel like they kind of just dropped the ball on. And I'm going to expound upon this in greater detail in an upcoming video. But I think they tried to do too much. And they did an admirable job trying to weave together everything that they were trying to do. But the problem is that as you're telling a story and you introduce a lot of factions, it's inevitable that they get more complicated, right? In Season 1, we just had the Vault and the Wasteland. And now we've got Lucy outside of the Vault, Norm outside of the Vault, and we've got Vault 32 and Vault 33, like 2 vaults, right? And then we've got the Vault 31 dwellers. Like, everything is way more complicated. And when you get to a narrative point like that, you have to trim it down, which is why they did what they did to all of the Vault 31 dwellers, which was a bummer. It kind of felt like they did all this build-up for Bud's Buds. And that's how it ends? That's how Bud's Buds ends? Rat roaches? I mean, there is some poetic justice to that, sure. But after an entire series, just the entire Ronnie, like, he was a really interesting villain that I kind of wanted to see more of in the Future Enterprise Ventures thing, which is apparently no longer being pursued because everyone who was pursuing it is dead. Instead, Stephanie is working on phase 2. Like, it's just, that rug was sort of pulled out from under us really quick. And it's because they were trying to do too much. They were just trying to do way too much, and they had to simplify it. And that's how they chose to do it. And I'm glad that they didn't do it by completely removing Norm's story. I'm glad they're going to continue telling it. But they snuffed out a couple of really important stories this season because they were trying to tell too much, and it was a bit of a bummer. Like the chicken lover. Awesome character. Just such a funny character. But they brought him back for season 2 just to erase his mind. And now the thing that made him interesting is gone. His personality. And they did the same with Hank. What an amazing villain. A conflicted villain. A good father who thinks he's doing right, but is clearly doing evil. But now he's a nothing. And yeah, I mean, they had to simplify. Gabriel Martin says, sorry you're sick, Ox, and I hope you get better. I have the flu myself. I am feeling a lot better. Like, compared to where I was yesterday, man, I was just a mess yesterday. I could barely talk. At least I can get my mouth open. But, yeah, it's going to take hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to actually sit down and record my audio for my next video because I really don't want to delay it. I got to strike while the iron is hot with the Fallout show, and I've got so much to say, and it's just a bad time for me to get sick. Naughty Applejack says, who would win a war between the Minutemen and the Brotherhood, both at max power, but no Liberty Prime, and behind you a Mothman? What? He must have gone. He must have gone. Well, with both of them at their max power, but without Liberty Prime, still, I think the Brotherhood would probably win because the Brotherhood at max power is going to be the Brotherhood with Fat Man launchers and laser weapons and power armor. And the Minutemen at max power are going to have artillery cannons and laser muskets. I mean, at max power, the Brotherhood isn't going to be relegated solely to the Prydwen, which was their greatest weakness. The only reason the Minutemen could defeat the Brotherhood is because the Brotherhood were stupid enough to bring a flammable hydrogen-filled blimp into the Commonwealth and just sit it on top of the airport. A juicy target for anyone. I mean, why the gunners didn't just destroy it, I don't know, right? But if it had come to a pitched battle between, like, boots on the ground Brotherhood and boots on the ground Minutemen, it would have been very difficult for trained soldiers to be defeated by farmers, right? So. Ned Carlsberg says, from 1 to 10, how would you rate season 2? I'm still thinking about the number that I want to give it. I really liked it. I really liked it. So whatever I rank it, it's going to be high. And I'm working on a video where I'm going to talk about that. But I can't give it a number yet because I really want to take a look at my last review for season 1 and think about some of my criticisms of season 2 before I come up with a number. I think it's going to be high, but I do have some criticisms that I need to kind of mentally work through. Sarah says, sorry if this is a repeat, but Hank sat on that end. Yeah, Hank was a great villain. And just a fun character. So it's kind of sad that he's now just comatose. Cheng Yang says, grammar is not my thing. I know it's not something to feel ashamed of, but it's hard for me. Grammar? Yeah, it's not something to be ashamed of, but it's not grammar, it's misspellings and double checking your work before you press the enter button is all I'm saying, right? Yeah, certainly don't feel ashamed about it or anything. I just had to kind of look at it before I realized that you were trying to say a pear instead of a pear, which is what you wrote. I thought we were talking about fruit. But yeah, don't need to be ashamed. Okay. It's time. I'm going to put the chat over there. Let's fire the game on up and pick up where we left off last week.
We need to get through that opening.
Grimothy Grimes says, Oxhorn, longtime lurker and been playing since Fallout 1. Wanted to say thank you for the videos giving me entertainment during my work. You're welcome, my friend. Good to have longtime Fallout fans on the program. Okay, so we got to figure this out. And we can't jump.
I can lift you up, Teddy.
Crap. I forgot what button I press. To pick up the bear. It's not E, it's not F. Oh, it's left mouse button.
Can you see anything?
What was that noise?
Hide.
There's no use in hiding. I could have sworn I heard something. My ears aren't what they used to be.
Aha! The door is open. Gary13 says, Gary. Gary! Hi, Gary. Royce Miller says, Ox, get to feeling better, my friend. Good night and good luck. Thank you, Royce Miller. Good night and good luck to you as well. Okay, the door is open. And what does this do? Oh. It opens a hatch there. Oh, okay. All right. That one wasn't so bad.
What can we say?
What? What was that?
Okay, so we gotta go back.
You can't hide from me forever. This ends tonight, Sophie. It all ends tonight.
What dropped? Okay, so we dropped something. Oh. Oh. Aha!
They will never stop searching for us. Why can't they just let us go?
We Are Venmo on YouTube says, Hey Ox, been seeing your content for a while now, and I wanted to know, what will happen if the NCR and the Minutemen ever come across one another? Would they make something bigger, Ox? I think the NCR would definitely want to. I think the NCR would get to the point where they would try to annex Minutemen towns.
We'll get to the window and escape no matter what.
Absorb any settlements that the Minutemen put together. I think that they would probably be very friendly and work with diplomacy first, and it would
Then it will be just you and me, Teddy.
it'll depend on how imperialistic the NCR chooses to be and how much resources they have. Like if they're in a constant battle with Caesar's Legion or other Eastern tribes or the Brotherhood of Steel, then they're not going to bother the Minutemen. But if they're pretty free of war and the Minutemen is supporting a lot of settlements, they might see those as interesting acquisitions for annexation, and I wouldn't put it beyond the NCR to try and annex them, which I hope they would never do.
No one else.
Okay. Well. Mousetrap. Mousetrap. Dead end. So we go this way.
So big in here.
Ooh. Now that is a formal dining room. Save myself. They want me to save myself now, huh? Before they were telling me that it was too late, I was gonna die.
We have to be careful.
There was no escape. Now they want me to...
There's only one place you could be now, Sophie.
Crap, crap, crap.
I know you're here, puppet. Somewhere. These halls are no place for little girls. They are strictly off limits. Show yourself.
Oh, really, kid? Really? Oh, little monster. I'm gonna have to wait for him to turn around. The big question is, do I go for it? Or do I hide here? Crap!
Stop!
Caught me. Okay, so I just got to be more careful. That was my bad. I didn't time it quite right.
So big in here. Save yourself. We have to be careful.
There's only one place you could be now, Sophie. I know you're here, puppet. These halls are no place for little girls. They are strictly off limits. Show yourself. Come out and play. You could get hurt if you're not careful. You're not the first one who tries to run. They tried to hide too, but I found them. Just like I'll find you.
Oh, okay. Well, we got through it.
You think you're clever, don't you? It's not going to make you whole again.
Oh, boy. Oh, it's getting louder. Oh, he goes over to that corner, huh?
You belong to the lady now. All of you do. She must always have.
What?
Off to the ritual with you.
He was turning the other way. Crap.
You think you're clever, don't you? It's not going to make you whole again.
Well, I just didn't time it right. Okay, he goes to that corner. Then he goes down the hall. Thing is, do I... Oh, that's it. That's it. I found it.
You belong to the lady now. All of you do.
I guess I wait until he goes over there.
She must always have her children here. Where are you hiding?
Haha!
I think we made it through.
Okay. Great, a new puzzle. Oh, it's gonna fall and make a loud noise.
Oh no!
So that's where you are. You're not going anywhere. Open.
Oh, it's a timer! It's a timer! No!
There's nowhere left to run. Come out, Sophie! Ah!
Is he locked in now?
Stupid little girl.
Nope, there's another door. Gabriel Montoya says, "Hey Ox, just finished watching your Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 story series. And I will say I appreciate how in-depth you go by choosing all possible dialogue options. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Gabriel. I really wanted to explore everything those wonderful games had to offer."
We made it past him.
Oh, does she keep getting away? She can't even see anything. I made sure of that.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be able to do this without you, Teddy. Everything has been dark since they took my eyes.
So he was the one who blinded her.
But now I have you.
And we're about to lose Teddy forever. That's the way these games go. Aha! Oh, another puzzle room.
How do we get out of this place?
Okay, great question, kid. How do we get out of this place? Well, so that's where we came from. Okay, I need something up there. Aha!
So many pipes. The cart! It's close to falling.
I just fell to my death. Crap. Okay, so what's the end game here? We've got a cart over there. And it comes down and it crashes here. Looks like this is what we ultimately need to lift up. No, we got to open this door. I see, and then we use the cart to get to the door. Gotcha. Gabriel Montoya says, I go on a small road trip home tomorrow, and I have made the decision to listen to your series on Fallout New Vegas. Have a good night, Ox. That's a wonderful decision, if I do say so myself.
So many
Have a
pipes.
fantastic trip.
The cart! It's close to falling.
Oh, I see what we got to do. We got to zap it.
Don't fall now, Teddy. There we go.
Well, what's the fastest way down that doesn't end in death? Aha! Okay. Got it. Oh, okay. More traps and chimes. Okay. Staircase. This should lead to the window. Pickles the Junkyard Cat gifted 5 Oxhorn memberships to the community. Thank you, Pickles, and congratulations to Gail Boa, Gary Yoke, The Wag Boy, Hambone Gaming Productions, and Billisick. Thanks again, Pickles, the Junkyard Cat. Ah. Sunlight.
The window is up here somewhere. We just have to find it.
Ooh. Don't fall down there.
That's the last mistake.
Doggone it.
Enough of this.
Stop scaring me!
I guess seeing that ghost was the sign that I should have turned around and ran.
Careful. The window is up here somewhere. We just have to find it. Save yourself.
That's the last mistake you ever made. To
What?
the shadows with you.
What? I got in! Well, I guess he could reach. Alright, well, now I know that's there, so. I hope you're not taking shots every time I die.
The window is up here somewhere. We just have to find it. Save yourself.
That's the last mistake you ever made. Damn all these holes.
Ooh! Oh! The floor completely falls away.
The hour is late. Let's be done with this, so I can go to sleep. The lady will do the rest. I just have to bring you to her.
Oh, great.
Come out, Sophie.
We did it! Yay!
It's so dark down there. Do you think he's alright?
I wonder if that was our only opportunity. I managed to do it on our first try. Yeah, it looks like that was our only opportunity because this is a dead end. Alright, so I gotta somehow get up there. Can I? No? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the man is no longer a threat. Or so they want us to believe. Wooly says, Oxhorn, there is that shiny thing. Oh, collectible. Did I almost miss a collectible? I did. Thank you, Wooly.
We have to keep going. Let's find the window. That's all that matters now.
Okay. We're slowly reaching the top. Okay, that was creepy. What was that? What was that? Oh, God. Okay, well, we got another keyhole there. A place to put our teddy there looking at the keyhole. So that's where we're going to end up. We got to go find the key first. Oh, and it's going to be on the old...
Clayton! Where is that oath? Mr. Clayton! Did you find her yet?
None of them have ever gotten this close before.
Ah!
Like she regained her senses. How did she manage to get out in the first place?
Oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck. I gotta get over there and get that. It's right behind her. Oh, man.
I will preserve you.
Well, shoot. Okay, so she's gonna move, and I gotta wait for her to move. So what I gotta do is I gotta somehow Oh, it only goes back and forth. So I can't come from that angle. I have to come from that angle. And bring it down here. I see. Okay. That makes more sense.
None of them have ever gotten this close before. It's almost like she regained her senses. How did she manage to get out in the first place?
Aha!
You thought I wouldn't find you!
No! 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 I should have hid over there. I should have just dropped down. Why didn't I drop down? Oh. Don't take shots when I die. You're going to end up drunk. You're not just going to end up drunk. You're going to end up crunk. And I cannot be held responsible for you getting drunk or crunk. Just because I'm sick and I'm playing poorly. That's right. I'm only playing poorly because I'm sick.
This close before. It's almost like she regained her senses.
If I wasn't sick, I would no death run this game.
Get out in the first place.
Because I'm all about puzzles all the time. This is like my jam.
She's been carrying around that teddy bear the whole night. Something isn't right. My beautiful paintings. My chill. Forever preserved.
What was that?
Yeah, she's looking right at me. Am I supposed to be moving? Oh, I'm supposed to be moving. Oh no. But what do I do now? What do I do now? I can't even see myself now. Ah! Ah!
Come to mother!
How did she find me? What? How did she find me? Okay. While it's moving, I have to get up there. That's what I've got to do. Oh, that's going to be tricky. That's why I had to remove the board so that I could see what was going on. But then she looks back at some point. There was one moment when she looked back. So I got to hide here. Then I got to come out and I got to pull it back. And then I got to jump up on it and get through there. And if I don't, she finds me. Okay. All right. I get it now, but man, this is going to be hard. Liquid courage.
None of them have ever gotten this close before.
I can't wait!
More like liquid recklessness. I was just chomping on the bit. I was ready to go. I was going to solve this puzzle. And I messed it up. I messed it up because I was just at the starting line and I moved before the gun fired. Okay, all right, I'm going to do this right time. Hold on. Better not be taking shots, everybody. I will not be held responsible.
None of them have ever gotten this close before. It's almost like she regained her senses. How did she manage to get out in the first place?
Anarchist says, Ox, you're making me tipsy. I told you, don't take shots when I die.
She's been carrying around that teddy bear the whole night. Something isn't right.
What?
Your time is now.
She just turned around so fast. She just turned right around and saw me. Do I gotta like memorize the moments?
None of them have ever gotten this close before. It's almost like she regained her senses. How did she manage to get out in the first place?
Wait for the purple to fade.
She's been carrying around that teddy bear the whole night. Something isn't right.
She looks. No!
My beautiful paintings. My children.
Crap!
Forever preserved.
Okay, why can't I zap it?
What? Was that?
Oh!
Sophie.
Okay, she looks once before I zap it. She looks again after I zap it. So that's 2 different times I'm going to have to hide while she's preoccupied. And I got to just time it right. Oh, this sucks so much. Anarchist says, you can do it, Ox Lamau. Okay, you've clearly been taking shots. I can tell by the way you're typing, and I do not approve. 1 shot, yes. 2 shots, fine.
None of them have
10
ever
shots
gotten this
because
close.
I've died that many times? You're gonna get crunk.
It's almost like she regained her senses. How did she manage to get out in the first place? She's been carrying around that teddy bear the whole night.
She turns around.
Something isn't right.
Okay, that was the first one. Oh no, I forgot! That's right. And then she goes there.
Beautiful paintings. My chill.
Then I distract her.
What? What's that?
She turns around again.
Enough.
Oh, I was right there! I was right there! No! No! Okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Oh. Mr. Virus says, what do you call an IT man on the Epstein list? A PDF file. All right. Clever, but the Epstein thing is like so disturbing and serious right now that I wouldn't make jokes about it. Lightside Vader became a bronze ox. Thank you so much, Lightside Vader. Michael Ewan says, can someone look up a guide and help Ox out? I don't need a guide. I know how to do it. It's just, you know, doing it.
None of them have ever gotten this close before. It's almost like she regained her senses. How did she manage to get out in the first place? She's been carrying around that teddy bear the whole night. Something isn't right. My beautiful paintings. My chill. Forever. What? Was that? Keep that expression.
Okay, so I just need to do it faster. I just got to do it faster. I'm being too careful. I'm being too careful and I'm wasting time. Okay. Gonna be a bit more aggressive here. I just got to do it faster.
None of them have ever gotten this close before. It's almost like she regained her senses.
Never mind. Too aggressive. That was just a little too aggressive. I should at least wait for her to get to the other side of the kitchen first. I was just okay. I think I've got it. I think I know what to do. I know the exact moment that I need to improve on. It's just refinement. A little bit of refinement is all this needs. Mr. Virus says, or maybe you need to take your time. But where do I hide over there? That's the thing.
It's almost like she regained her senses. did she manage to get out in the first place?
I think I need to be faster. If I fail, then I'll try and be slower.
She's been carrying around that teddy bear the whole night. Something isn't right. My beautiful paintings. My children. Forever. What was that?
Knew it! Knew it! Ha ha! I had to be a little faster. And there's the key. Okay, how do I get it? Can I pull that? Do I push that?
You wouldn't leave me, would you?
I can't get up there.
Not that you could.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like it either, kid. But we're both stuck. I gotta figure this out, and you gotta not get eaten by that crazy lady.
Where did she go?
Oh, okay. We did it. Mousetrap. I got the key. Now I just gotta remember where it goes. Oh, that's right. It was the end of the hall. Aha. Okay. Ah.
We're going to make it.
Famous last words, kid. Never get your hopes up until you're actually clear.
I won't let her take you, Teddy. We can't be far away from the window.
You've been saying that for an hour, kid.
If only we knew the way.
Oh, that's a drop. That's a drop. I don't like drops. Oh no, this is gonna send me all the way back down. I don't want to do that. I can't go that way. I've worked so hard to get up here. There's got to be like another path. No, that's the only way. I gotta go down. Oh, that's so lame. All right. Well, down we go. Oh. Oh, okay. Freaked me out for a minute there. Oh, another hallway.
Let's go slowly.
Slowly and surely.
There you are. I'm tired of this, Sophie. Just give up.
Never!
I don't want to run anymore. What's the point in hiding?
Run away! She's an old lady. She shuffles.
It's the middle of the night.
I didn't mean to!
Stop running! Come with me, love. You don't want to leave me, do you? You had
Dang it!
that expression.
Dang it! I didn't know that I had to look left. All right. I will look left. I can't sprint.
There you are.
What?
I'm tired of this, Sophie. Just give up.
Never!
I don't want to run anymore. What's the point in hiding?
I'm sorry!
It's the middle of the night.
I didn't mean to!
Stop running! Come with me. You don't want to leave me, do you? You had nothing before you got here.
I had my eyes.
You have nothing to go back to.
Oh, that's what I should have done.
I will give you purpose.
Yay!
Get back here, Sophie!
That was cool. Ha ha! Old lady, you can't get me.
You already know this won't work.
It's been working so far.
I don't know how to avoid her. They always manage to find us. Why can't they just leave me alone? Teddy, what if we don't run?
Yeah, we tried that. We got caught multiple times.
Maybe there is another way.
I don't want to be turned into a painting.
What if we trick Mother Janet into thinking we've given up? Then she will stop looking for us.
Yeah, okay. How do we do that?
I might not get out, but maybe you can.
What? That can't be the ending. The teddy bear gets out?
No, we made it back.
Sophie, there's nowhere else for you to go. When you're ready, I'll be here.
We need to try, Teddy. I have to walk up to her.
Really? Why? Why is that what I have to do? I don't want to do that. I don't want the teddy bear to escape. I want the girl to escape. With the teddy bear. Oh, man.
If you see an opportunity, take it.
What do you mean? I don't know. See an opportunity? Is this one of those things where there are like 5 different endings and it's all based on the choices you make at the very end? And am I about to make the worst possible choice?
Teddy, I trust you.
I'm gonna zap something and kill her, right? Oh, no. Really? This is what I gotta do?
Mother?
Yes, Sophie? I'm right here.
I know. We can see you now.
What? The bear?
Now, Teddy!
Oh, stop it, daughter!
You're not my mother!
Of course I am, Lucille.
That's not my name!
What? No!
Did we just kill Sophie? Did we just kill the girl? What? Is the girl dead too? That can't be how this ends. Come on, man. You can't kill the kid?
This has been a confusing night. You are not my child. None of you were. I am not your mother. I never was.
Oh, I can now walk.
To love you into Lucille was my plan, I suppose. I really tried, because I love you, in a way. When I am alone, when I can't feel her presence, I get very scared of losing myself. As long as you're with me, Lucille will not be gone.
I'm a walking bear.
I can't have my way. Neither can you.
Kid? Yay!
Teddy, how did you get here?
Let go of me!
Your eye!
You devils! Sophie!
Are you okay, Teddy?
Well, I'm missing an eye. Where is it?
She took your eye. What if we can't see now?
I still got an eye. Gonna get out of here.
Let's get out of here for good.
What? That's... Alright, we did it. The kid is still blind. And now the magic bear is partially blind. But she managed to jump out of a window on the top floor of a creepy old building. And that's... Oh, wait, I can move! I can move! I can do something. Oh, yay! Okay, the story's not over. I jumped out the window. I got to the ground. I'm now walking through the forest. And this is better. There are no evil creatures in the woods at night. Oh, right or left? Right or left? Let's go right. Does it matter which way I go? Or is this the rest of the game? I just wander and... I wander in the gutters in the forest and dodge wild animals. Okay, well, there's the credits. Oh.
What's this?
That's messed up. I guess, could I have found my eye that I left behind? I looked for it. I didn't see it. Okay. That's the game. There we go, everyone. That was out of sight. It was a lot of fun. It was a very unique concept. I haven't, played a game like that before. The idea of having to carry around your camera with you and position it to solve puzzles. It was very inventive. Really short game, but very creative game as well. So glad we played that. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I went live today, but I can feel my voice really straining. I need to heal up. I'm going to end the broadcast now. I'm going to get some sleep. Hopefully by tomorrow morning, my voice will be restored enough so that I can record some form of narration for my upcoming video. But if it's not better, I'm going to have to wait another day. I've been waiting all week for my voice to heal up so that I can record. And yeah, I hope tomorrow it's fixed. Because I really want to get something done, if not by the weekend, then at least by Monday. That's my goal. So stay tuned. Still working on lore videos. Just got to wait for my voice to sound better. And then I'll have something ready for you guys soon. But thanks again for coming to Scotch and Smoke Rings. I'll be live again next week for another Q&A about anything Fallout show, the Fallout games, whatever's on your mind, really. And I'll have a new game for us to play. And the Resident Evil game sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to when that comes out. But until then, have a wonderful night. Get some sleep yourself. I hope none of you got drunk. I said don't take those shots. I hope you didn't take those shots. I died a lot. Have a good one, everybody. See you soon. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.